cold case has been solved in two cases at the same time over a slip of paper with the suspect's name written on it. Boise, Idaho. The case of a woman stabbed in Idaho and another woman strangled in Washington state in 1990 didn't seem to be related until law enforcement officials realized through DNA evidence that they likely had the same killer. Samples sent to the National DNA Database provided no suspects. However, last year, the agencies compared notes and discovered that a name on a slip of paper in the Washington woman's purse was that of the same name on the list of the Idaho detectives had been looking for. DNA from a cigarette discarded by Lee Miller connected him to the crimes. And on Wednesday, the 54-year-old Boise man was sentenced to life in prison. He wasn't even a suspect in either one of the cases at the time. He was far from their radar, said Detective Martin Garland of the Bremerton Police Department in Washington. But because he was the only person on both lists in the case, we identified him as a likely person who was responsible. Miller was sentenced in both states on Wednesday. In Idaho and Kitsap County, Washington Judge Jeanette Dalton participated via video conferencing. Miller earlier this year pleaded guilty in each of the cases to second-degree murder in the 1984 stabbing to death of 49-year-old Cheryle Barratt in Boise and the 1992 strangulation death of 57-year-old Marilyn Hickey in Bremerton near Seattle. The Idaho sentence is a life with a minimum of 25 years, while the Washington state sentence is 17 years. The sentences are to run consecutively, meaning Miller must face a minimum of 42 years in prison. I am very sorry for the pain that I have caused the families that have been affected by my past, Miller said. I don't expect them to ever forgive me, but I would like them to know that I am very sorry. Miller's defense attorney, Danica Comstock, said Miller had a difficult childhood with an abusive alcoholic mother and stepfather, causing Miller to suffer from anger blackouts in his younger years. Miller had been involved in an intimate relationship with Hickey and Bartlett before he killed them, Comstock said. Idaho 4th District Court Judge Stephen Hippler said both deaths were violent and both victims were brutalized severely before they died. In the years that followed the killings, Miller fathered two daughters but didn't play a major role in their lives. In 2016, he moved to Boise to become the primary caregiver to one daughter who is disabled. He also became a grandfather at the same time. Hippler said that an added element to Miller's punishment is losing the life that he had just finally started to build.